Hey,
well,
DeMarco.
Marcus, I'm not doubting you got a good cheesesteak, but when you go over here, I'm going to take you to some real good cheesesteaks place down the Jersey Shore. Our official with Atlantic City style roll. You can't
We're
beat
live.
Atlantic City style
We're
roll.
live, Ron. We're live.
Oh yeah, he knows. He knows that.
But
I wanted to point out
now
to
we're
DeMarco
live for me when the second screen starts barking over here.
DeMarco, it's a 24-hour town, Las Vegas. So midnight can be just as busy as noon.
Well, don't worry, DeMarco's a 24-hour type of guy.
Yeah.
No,
and with all the lights
right now, it's frightening.
Hey, DeMarco,
and with all the lights, DeMarco, just as bright.
Volume a little low.
Oh.
Pump it up. Okay, here we go, folks. We're starting the show for real now. 3, 2, 1, and welcome into DroneNation for 11/11/2024. The title of this show is the DJI Goggles N3 are here, sort of. I want to start off by saying Happy Veterans Day to all that served. The big day. It's always 11/11 because that ties in with the end of World War I. So it's always on 11/11. So thank you so much for all our veterans. And we're right to the start of the show here. DeMarco's fearless Monday Night Football forecast. He's got the Miami Dolphins with a record of 2-6 versus the LA Rams with a record of 4-4. The Rams are giving 2.5 points on the Vegas line there. So you know it's a tight game when it's not even a 3-point line, right, DeMarco?
Yes, it's going to be a tight game. Is what's the name playing? Tua playing?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
He came back last week, but they still lost.
Oh, okay.
DeMarco, I'll say it's a very tight game with little consequence. Okay.
Yes.
Hey,
let's go Rams. Come on. Picking the Rams to win. Johnny, a score? You want to give me a score?
I would have picked Miami, but you know.
Well, hey, that's fine. That's fine.
Hey, Johnny,
17-13.
DeMarco, I heard the New Orleans Saints got a win this weekend.
Who did?
The Saints won. New Orleans Saints won this weekend. They with the new head coach.
Yep.
I think Johnny's was the name of the new head coach, right?
I wish. Yeah, no lie.
All right, folks. End of the football talk here. People are starting to leave already. So
23-7, DeMarco. 23-7, the Rams.
Oh, they are. Thank God.
That's Tom's prediction.
That's my prediction.
Yeah. I like the Rams also in this game. Rams are playing better football lately. But let's get on to the drone news here. Right at the top of the show here, we got the Las Vegas drone meetup this past weekend, and we're hoping Marcus and Tom can give us a little recap of the events, but we're going to hold that just for a second here, and we're going to go right to the big news from last week that doesn't concern the drone meetup. And who knows, maybe these were at the drone meetup. The DJI Goggles N3s were launched last week for only $229, but rumors say they probably won't be available for U.S. customers for at least a month. And the new goggles being offered as a bundle with the drone controller and goggles, in some regions are offering that kit. So whether that comes to U.S. or not. So I'm going to throw it out to the panel here, Johnny. I'm going to get like a little graphic up here. Johnny, what are your thoughts on these?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea for them to come out with a cheaper pair of goggles, especially for the people who own the Neo and don't have the goggles. I mean, for me, I had the Goggles 3, and I personally, wouldn't buy a cheaper set of goggles. But if you only have the Neo, hey, it's a great price point and get you started in FPV.
Yeah.
So,
Tom.
I'm going to start a goggles museum because I think I've owned every pair of their goggles. I don't know that I need the N3s, like Johnny said. I have the V3s, but it's a great entry point solution that's out there. And my hope is, and it's a hope, that maybe they'll be compatible with an O3 Air unit or something like that. Because, you know, one thing I see a lot of now, and I'm going to do it, an upgrade. I got a local hobby shop that's going to actually do it for me. I'm going to put an O3 Air unit on my Traxxas Sledge RC car. And the wife likes to drive that thing around out on the dry lake bed. And the problem is when it's coming back to her, she gets completely disoriented because she's steering the wrong way. With the goggles on, she'll probably have a lot more fun with it. But, you know, I think it's a great entry-level solution. It's a pair of box goggles, you know, single screen in there. And from what I've heard, you know, they're decent. We'll see. Yeah. I hope they're available sooner than a month because people need to get their Christmas shopping done soon.
Yeah, I said that's just a rumor. We have no definite release date for the U.S. on these goggles. Marcus, what's your thoughts on these new goggles?
Well, I was able to try them on at the meetup. Lon Denard had some, so and I don't know actually who they belong to, but they're bigger and heavier. There's no question about it, and you are going to feel that pressure around your, you know, it's not like the Goggles 3 where you just don't have any of that pressure on the bridge of your nose or everything. It's there. That said, I tried them on with my glasses, and my glasses fit under there just fine. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's people that are going to love them.
Yeah.
DeMarco?
Yeah, well, they belong to a influencer there, Marcus. So
I presumed so, and I didn't ask him.
And I don't want to say which one due to NDA. So, but
yeah, I didn't want to ask any questions either. So I didn't.
No, same thing. What we all said though. I mean, for the people who are looking to actually get in with that price point, have at it. I mean, it's a nice price point. Not going to break the bank. They are, which I just found out. Margaret said they are a little bit heavier, but I mean, like, some of these people, it's not going to matter. So. I would know.
Just a few simple specs here. This is from DJI Global here. So they're saying they have immersive flight experience. They're ready to use. They have 1080p ultra wide screen. They do have a wider field of view than the Goggles 3, I believe. The DJI O4 video transmission system in there. They have the AR cursor, which comes over from the Avata 2. They have 2.7 hour maximum operating time. So you know, pretty full featured.
Ron, did you see Lauren's comment there? He says they've got them in stock. Yeah.
I understand that they're available in non-U.S. countries. Yeah, thank you, Lauren, for letting us know. But we're hoping to get them here, you know, with like I said, maybe in a month, like Tom said, for the holiday season. So it was interesting release here. But I'll tell you what, to me, Johnny, you probably feel the same way. One more interesting thing was, along with the new Goggles N3, we got firmware updates to the Neo and the Avata 2 that brought new features. For the Avata 2, it brought a new easy Acro mode, a power loop. And I just tried this today. I mean, it does a power loop just like you see the real FPV guys do it. Johnny, am I overrating it?
No, I mean, I did it yesterday a bunch, just flying around. I was just going to edit it into my my real FPV and just said it was with that. You know, I mean,
I got a question for you guys. What exactly do you mean by a power loop?
Can you describe? Johnny, can you describe what a power loop is?
The drone just flips completely over. You know, does a complete circle, like either backwards or forwards.
Okay. I mean, over a 5-foot circle or a 10-foot circle, or
well, you got to be up. Captain Joe learned a little while ago. You got to be over 10 feet, at least 10 feet, because it will power loop right into the ground.
Right into the ground.
So I would never. Yeah. I mean, I would never. I'm sure there are guys that can do it FPV just a few feet off the ground, but I know I wouldn't try it. But
Marcus, I was doing mine about 30, 40 feet up in the air, and I had no issues with it.
That's the right place. That's the right height, Ron. We don't want to have DJI go out of business because of care refresh.
Yeah, no lie
on the Avata.
I think, you know what, Tom? I mean, you kind of said it, and I mean, I'm not. It's a neat feature, but it's something that'll probably get a lot of the Avata 2 people in trouble. I mean, that's just my personal.
Going to get them in trouble. There's no doubt about it. But look, it should right now, the previous two Acro, easy Acro features would stop you from doing them if they were too close to the ground. And I'm kind of surprised that DJI didn't add that feature in. It does have ground sensing to it, but it might be above the limit that it's actually sensing how far off the ground.
You can only do it. You can't do it in sport mode, so keep that in mind. But
right,
it's a neat feature. But I don't know. Just remember, altitude is your friend. So just get a little higher.
Absolutely.
So Tom, when we were out at the Red Rocks today, Mike Wright was flying his Avata 2. Was he doing that power loop?
I did not see him, Johnny, do the power loop, and I'm not sure that Michael downloaded the latest firmware while he's been out here, because that just came, right, guys? I'm going to
say that update probably happened when most people were flying or going to the meetup.
Traveling.
So happened. Most people were in transit.
Well, we had two Avata 2 crashes, mine being one of them at the Las Vegas drone meetup. We had a drone soccer set up with a whole little screened-in arena and everything under one of the picnic canopies at Cornerstone Park. Great people they are and all of that. And apparently Dale Hinton, one of our other sponsors from Blue Sky Drones up in Washington State, and myself both had a problem. So I was just trying to capture some footage, and I was going around nice and slowly with the Avata 2. And all of a sudden, it just vaulted up into the canopy and the steel canopy, and it came landing. And Ken Dono picked it up and immediately started shooting a commercial for his rib riders, which he showed. Took no damage at all. Okay. Unfortunately, in my goggles, it said propeller issue. I checked the propellers, no problem. So I definitely knocked the motor out of whack. Okay.
Oh.
And then Dale Hinton came up to me and said, Tom, I just saw what happened. That happened to me about 15 minutes ago. So what we surmised was this. The drone soccer uses these little cage drones, and they have all of these little remotes sitting there that basically look just like game controllers. And in talking to the gentleman, it turns out that they're probably unshielded. And when a few of them turned on, it definitely interrupted my signal, because I was only about 2.5 feet off the ground when I was just doing a nice little orbit around the screened area. And all of a sudden it launched itself 15, 20 feet in the air. So DJI will be getting that unit back very shortly. Thank God for care refresh. But so I wasn't power looping, Ron. Yes.
I won these at the meetup for my Avata 2. Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Who won the big prizes?
Oh, Jay Santiago.
Yeah, I saw that.
New York City, 5 boroughs. He came all the way from New York City. He won the Air 3S Fly More combo with RC2 controller.
Wow.
Jay's a great guy. I got to meet him at the Ken Heron Ocean City Boardwalk meetup. He's a great guy.
Well, Ron, you brought up Ken Heron.
Great guy.
He won an Action 5.
Yes.
Really?
But he won
an Action 5 and donated it back.
He did.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
He did. We
He
gave
did.
away a Neo. We gave away Action 5s. Dale Hinton even gave away an underwater drone.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hey guys, listen, let's finish up this story. Then we're going to go into the hardcore, into the meetup here. So we talked about the Easy Acro, the power loops, and now the Neo can record vertical video in either 1080p and either 30 or 60 frames per second. So you get that popular TikTok, Instagram look now, without doing any post-process editing. So that, Johnny, did you get to try that out yet?
Yeah, after I found it, I did.
Yeah.
You got to dig a little deep in the menu, but
you got to go all the way to the right there to find the.
It works. It works good.
With the vertical.
Ron, can I do that with the Neo too?
With this is all Neo now.
This is the Neo.
This is Neo.
We're all Neo now.
Okay.
Plus they increase the speed of the Neo, which I found worked pretty good in some of the winds we have out here. It functioned very well. I mean, I'm amazed that this drone sits sideways like this in the wind, but when I look at the video is upright.
They
cool.
estimate. I hear some in meters. I'm getting confused, but like I know DC Rainmaker said he had a video. He could actually run faster than Neo. He could lose a Neo running, and now at least he can keep up with maybe doing somebody doing between 20 and 25 miles per hour on a bicycle now. So they've much improved the tracking speed. You can now go full screen mode when flying the Neo and Magnum. But I didn't know what this meant at first, but when you flew before with it, now you could only fly like this or whatever, but now you can go like this, and then it takes over the whole screen. You don't have those indentions on the side. So it's much easier to fly with your thumbs on the virtual stick in that full screen mode than it was, like this.
Hey, so Ron, I know you had discussed earlier that you kind of move the center part with your thumbs or fingers or whatever. I was messing around with that, and I felt like it was valid either way. I was tapping on the directions, and to me, they both seem to work pretty good.
To be honest, Marcus, I actually do a combination of both during the flight. I tend to do more with the thumbs on the center sticks, but I do, use the edges. So I do a little bit of both. Yeah.
It's just kind of an interesting development, and I think only DJI has ever built a drone that I was comfortable flying with just an app like that without a controller.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, going from flying the Tello, with the kind of the same sticks and whatever. This, I mean, of course, it's your or whatever, but this is much better flying with the sticks than the Tello was.
It's much more reactive. Yeah, it's much more reactive.
Yeah. So, and now there are 3 different stick modes for the Neo. Before we only had stick mode 2, which is the most common one other people use, but some people like mode 1 and some people like mode 3. One of them, is like playing a video game or whatever. So a lot of video gamers like whatever which one of those modes it is. So I know most of us use mode 2, but for the people that like the other modes, they're there now. They weren't there before. So here's another one. There's another audio mode now besides pure for the Neo.
Right.
Pure audio kind of eliminated all the sound. I mean, it sounded like you were dubbing in the audio after the flight was over because there was no sound at all except your voice. But now they put another mode in, an ambient mode, where you actually can hear some of the background sounds. So say if you're filming at the beach, somebody can actually hear the beach noises to know you're at the beach. Where before that other mode,
you do get a little bit, Ron, you do get a little bit of that rotor noise steps in there, just a little bit, but nothing that would cause you a problem.
You probably want to keep the Neo a little bit further away from you than you will with pure video.
I would say 10 meters or more, you should be fine. I like the medium mode on direction track. I found that, and now with the update, what I was finding with direction track, Ron, was it would start out in front of me, and as I started walking, it would wind up on the side and then eventually wind up behind me. Okay. And now it seems now with the new update, it stays right in front of me, which was pretty cool.
Good. I haven't got to test that out yet since the update. Because by the time I do everything I want to do, showing a video, I'm out of battery or whatever. But that's good to hear.
So Ron, you just got the single battery version, right? You didn't buy.
No, I had the 3 battery combo.
Oh, good.
My problem is usually though, by the time I get the one battery done, I don't know, it's starting to get dark or starting to get windy. So I usually don't get a second flight just because of conditions, outside. So.
I tell you what, I think DeMarco is a good candidate for that Neo. Your kids would love it. I'm just telling you, they would love it, DeMarco.
Yeah, the kids would love it, but somehow they would break it on the first day. As soon as I turn my back.
DeMarco, I'm going to tell you, this little sucker is resilient.
He's pretty tough.
Okay, and this is why I'm recommending to people, people that have the Avata 2. guess what, folks? You can fly this thing with your goggles, with your MC3. You can fly it with your RCN2, your RCN3. But the best thing I think is being if you have never flown manual mode with your Avata, this is a great opportunity to leverage this little $199 drone to get used to flying manual mode, because you can do it with this and get that muscle memory built up, you know, and then transition over to your more expensive Avata 2 and pick up from there. It's much better than using a simulator as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and it's so light. I'm not saying you can't hurt it, but it'd be hard to hurt it. I'll be honest with you. You know, if you just a few feet off the ground, or even
here's my feeling. We all can't be a Johnnie DroneFlyer.
Oh, we can't. No.
Hey, you don't want me flying it. No, it is fun. I tell you what, the technology in that little drone is amazing. I mean, you know what, when I first heard about it, it's like, oh, who needs it? And I know, but it's got so many features. It's just packed in there.
You know, we got all those naysayers out there, and, you know, it's always whatever comes out. It's not this, it's not that. And that's right. It's not my best camera drone. It's not my best FPV drone. But damn, it's fun. And Marcus, you can attest to this. I mean, you know, in that price point, you know, people buy these toy drones and they get frustrated right away because they're so unreliable, hard to get up in the air. When you get them up in the air, they crash.
Yep.
This thing just flies.
It works.
Simple.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
And to be able to fly it without anything, fly it with the app, fly it with controllers, fly it with goggles. I mean, come on. It really, to me, what do I call it, Marcus? Crack cocaine. I call it crack cocaine.
Well,
okay.
Listen, I'll put it in other terms. You know, the thing that I enjoy most is just like what we did today, Tom, flying a drone with the sticks and the controller and everything. That said, that little Neo always just has me laughing every time I fly it. It is just a ton of fun, no matter whether you fly it without any controller and just do it in the automated modes, or you fly it with your just your mobile device, or whether you use a controller with it. I have not tried the Goggles 3 yet, but I will with the Neo. But nothing but fun.
I like it with the RC too. It flies really great with the RC too.
It flies great with the RC. Yeah.
You know,
I'll give you a quick little one. You know, we moved out here it'll be 3 years ago, the end of this month. And we haven't committed to getting a pet yet, because that's a big commitment out here. You know, we've had pets before. And, you know, I always see the neighbors walking their dog. I walk my Neo. Okay. I take my Neo out for walks.
Hey, Tom, you might get a letter from the homeowners association.
You know what, Johnny? Good thing one of my good friends here is on the board. So yeah, I think I'm good, man. I think I'm good.
Hey, Marcus made a real good comment to me, you know, a week or so ago about the new and the video. Tom, you mentioned it's your best video drone. When you're flying a Neo as a camera drone, you're trying to shoot stuff far away. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. But Marcus makes a good point. When you're actually using it as a selfie drone, when you have it when it's 5 feet away from you or whatever, 5 to 10 feet, and it's taking video, that video looks really good. The close-up video, people looks
decent
really good.
Video. Yeah, decent video, and it's 4K. I mean, you know, come on.
So let's
and we consume that on these devices the majority of the time, right? I mean, unless you're really sight impaired and you got an 85-inch flat screen 4K monitor at home, otherwise you're consuming it on mobile devices normally.
Well, let's be realistic about the Neo. It's got that little sensor in there, and it does not have a gimbal. So everything it does is electronic image stabilization.
Yes.
So it's moving that image around on that little sensor. For what it is, it's really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we're kind of on we're pushing the Neo real hard here, but there has been a story for the past week or 10 days that's come out. There's been several videos on this fact that Chris Waters put an excellent video out just a few days ago. The Neo doesn't do well at all in low light. Like people that got to fly it indoors, if you fly anywhere in a dark corner or whatever, it kind of goes haywire, and if you're not careful, it'll crash into things. And Marcus, you had an incident outdoors. Was that maybe a low light incident also when you?
It wasn't when it hit that tree. Yeah, no, it just was trying to follow me, and it does not have obstacle avoidance, and it didn't know a tree was there. So
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody watched Chris Ward's video, but he's not the only one. Several people out there have
I've done it. I've had problems.
It doesn't know what it loses. It loses wherever it's at, and then kind of shoots away from you in the dark.
So
it drifts right away. Yeah.
So Ron, try that with your GoPro. I mean, it's the same thing. That when you have image stabilization on your GoPro or something, you get in low light, it gets all blurry. And I mean, I think it's
no doubt. But we're not just talking about the video. We're talking about the drone's flying abilities or whatever.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, even like say for instance, the Avata 2, the camera may stick in low light, but it's not flying away from you.
Except that this.
How far away does it fly from you?
Until it hits something.
So it's using a visual sensor to figure out where it is, and when there's not enough light, that visual sensor can't ID its location. And honestly, you're dealing with it. What's great about it, if you see it tracking you, right, when it's following you, follow mode, and you're walking down a path, it follows the actual path you took instead of our other tracking drones, which will cut across areas to keep up with you. This thing is actually using visual tracking because it really doesn't have any other type of sensor.
Tom, I prefer that visual tracking because the drones that dart all over doing themselves, even if they do it, it's not a very cinematic video with this drone trying to figure its way through. The new actually follows you cinematic.
Exactly. And Ron, come on, we all hope for the same thing, right? That this was going to be a little drone we could use indoors. But it does fall short there, and I don't think there's really much you can do about that.
Yeah, nope. Tom, I totally agree. This like a lot of things, this drone was never intended or sold as for flying at night or flying, in dark space indoors. That's not how the drone was promoted. DJI never said it could do this, so people find that as a fault. I mean, it's a fault because it was never intended to do that.
When Chris only went behind that screen,
seconds, he went behind it for seconds.
Yeah,
it's going to. And so my recommendation to DeMarco is, if there's one under the Christmas tree, make sure the Christmas lights are really burning bright.
Yeah,
that's all I would say.
Yeah. You get the Chevy Chase, Christmas lights going.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely it's on the list of things to get though. Not sure this Christmas though, but one of these days I'll get it.
The Neo 2. The Neo 2.
Marcus, I'm waiting for the Neo 14. Okay, when that comes out. Okay.
No. The Neo 2S. Waiting for it.
The 2S.
The new Pro with the one sensor.
And the sensor,
yeah. That's the one I'm waiting for. Any thoughts on either the Goggles 3 or the firmware updates for the Neo and the Avata 2 before we move on? Anybody?
It's typical for DJI to keep advancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And things we all complain about.
Much better drone today than it was a week ago.
Absolutely. And it will be a better drone in a month from now, no doubt. So we're very fortunate in that regard when it comes to DJI.
Yeah. I look forward to getting home and getting it updated and trying it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll post my affiliate link in the chat if you don't mind.
I mean, power loops over the canyon, Marcus. There you go.
Oh boy.
With the Avata 2?
Yeah, with Avata 2.
Yeah. I'm all in. I would do it. I would, Johnny. You're joking, but I would.
No,
what is it? Deadman's Point. What's the place that cool place? Dedication Point.
Yeah.
Oh, Dedication Point.
Deadman's Point. No, Dedication Point.
Yeah. Deadman's Point. That sounds like a cool place too, if we could find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stop the stories right now and let's go. Tom or Marcus, or both of you combined. Can you give us a little recap of the weekend's events? And by the weekend events, I mean the first annual Las Vegas drone meetup, kind of hosted by Tom and Bob Dempsey.
Well, I think Tom should do that. I can give you my impressions once Tom is done, but I'll let Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll start with, I think I need a week to sleep this one off.
That's why Tom,
Okay.
I'm surprised he asked to come on tonight. I figured you and Bob would be so burned out.
I figured if I didn't come on now, Ron, you're not going to see me for a while. Okay.
Okay.
But
Sarah
yeah, go
was
ahead.
off shopping with Audrey all day long, so they can't be too tired. Her and Audrey, that's Bob's wife, they were out hitting the town, hitting the stores, shopping all day.
You do understand shopping is also a 12-step program.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. But you know what? I can sum it up real quick. There'll be a second annual Vegas drone meetup. That's the best way for me to sum it up. Okay. We had a great time. I met, so, you guys know from the South Florida drone meetup, and yes, Johnny, you can hear this, but there's no doubt Ray's lurking someplace. Okay. I am making travel arrangements to get to South Florida.
Good deal.
And because I found out my wife has already planned for me to go because she's going out with the girls to Catalina.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But you know what? It was a fantastic event. We had great sponsors from DJI, Blue Sky, Pilot Institute, Recovery One Drones. Dre paid for the first round at our social event. We had food out. We had a great showing at the social event. And then just the prizes we were able to give. Hardly anybody walked away without something. We gave out a gift bag that had some great swag in it.
Yes.
We had an adventure book I created so that we could highlight great places. And in that adventure book, I had descriptions, I had lat long, I had airspace, I had where the restrooms were. It's important to us older folk, where places to eat were. And, we had a lot of locals show up as well. But the people from across the country, it was great. We had Ken Herron with his drone patrol vehicle and his mobile recording studio in tow. We had pictures of Ken Dono and Ken Herron together. Smiling together. Okay.
Hey, Tom, can I stop you a second? We have a question for you in the chat there.
76.
76.
Not counting Bob, myself, my wife, and we had volunteers. My friends on the block came out and volunteered. They worked the counter. The ladies worked the counter, giving out the swag bags, getting people registered. The staff at Parkway Tavern were over the top. They took very good care of everyone. Next morning, we had a full sponsored breakfast. You could order off a menu of about 10 items. We had a great roundtable discussion. We got a bunch of people up on the stage and we talked about, different things impacting our community. Both on the recreational side and on the commercial side. I had some friends locally who are in UNLV, and they have a company called Aero AI that do photogrammetry and mapping. They couldn't make it this time, but they have already committed to sponsorship next time. And Greg brought up Jason and Scott from Prescott. But Greg asked if we could extend this by an additional day, meaning the Thursday, so that he can help offer an educational day for the event. And Aero AI was like, "Oh wow, we could partner with them on that." So it was a success. I'm thrilled beyond belief and exhausted beyond belief. And you know what? There will be a second one. That means Bob is still alive. Okay.
Audrey didn't murder him.
Or me, for that matter. But they are such a fun couple to hang out with. You will laugh. I mean, how many Buddhist Santa Clauses do you know? Really? Okay.
He's unique.
He is a unique individual. Love him to death. We had some great people. We had Metro Police from Las Vegas. They came and did demos. Okay. We had Red Rock Search and Rescue. They did demos. Their captain of the drone team is one of our committee members, Vaughn Haya. He retired Air Force officer in their, with MQ-9 Reapers. He runs their drone team. They did a great job out there. We had a barbecue food truck, and Vic Moss and Kenji, they sponsored the barbecue food truck. Dre sponsored the drinks. Let's see, Pilot Institute gave away a course. DJI gave away a ton of stuff. Chief Wayne Baker was there. Wow. He had a great time. He complained to me that it was a little too chilly for him. Okay. Meanwhile, he's wearing 3 layers.
Can I cut you off just a second? We got a question for you in the chat there from John Flynn, Flying Flynn.
Yeah, John. It will be
around the same time as this year's Tom.
Yeah, so I'll tell you why. Because Kelly, with Sundowning Spin Up, granted us this, bequested us this kind of time frame. And the other thing is a couple of things. It's a holiday weekend, so more people are available. And also, it's weeks before Formula One out here, which we never want to collide with that fiasco that happens out here in Las Vegas. So, yes, it will be the same time next year. We'll figure out venues and everything else as we get more and more feedback. And anybody who attended, please tell us what you liked, and more importantly, tell us what you didn't like. Okay? It's all helpful to us.
My favorite part was meeting my cousin Dre in person.
That was a good time, right? I mean, Dre walked around interviewing everybody. He had a great time. He really did. And then we went out on adventures. Now yesterday I took the long haul. So I did the adventure that was over 2 hours away. We went to the Lake Dolores Abandoned Water Park. Actually, Ken Herron beat us out there by 3 hours. He was out there at sunrise at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I took Brad Alston, Steve Carpenter, Mike Wright came out with me. And then a few others showed up, and we went ahead and we spent a couple of hours there at the water park. Then we went to Eddie's World, the biggest candy store in the area. And they have a nice little fast food restaurant there. We had a nice little sit-down meal. And then we went over to this unique Liberty Sculpture Park, or also known as Freedom Park. And so there's a lot of outdoor sculptures we were able to fly around. And it was a long day. We left at 8 in the morning, and we got back at 5:30 in the afternoon. But they were local ones. Bob had a 15-passenger van, so he took a bunch of people to Red Rock Canyon and then Red Creek in Calico Basin. We had people going up to Lone Mountain. We had people going out to Seven Magic Mountains and Jean Dry Lake Bed. So all in all, I think everybody had a great time.
Dre was saying it was perfect drone flying weather in Vegas this time of year.
Oh my goodness, we couldn't have gotten blessed with better. There was no wind. Now the few days before, we were on wind advisories. Okay, we had like 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and that's where my stress level was increasing. But yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today, right, Marcus? Today, we had no wind.
Oh, there was no wind.
No wind out there.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Hey, Tom, you said Ray Kelly is lurking someplace. There he is.
Hey, Ray, how are you, bro?
Happy Veterans Day, Ray.
Happy Veterans Day, Ray. It was a really good time, and it was, the best part of it is I wouldn't have even needed to launch a drone. just socializing and getting together with people. Every time I turned around, somebody was hugging me. Oh, I've seen you here. I've seen you there. Well, first time I see you in person, So, and I got to tell you, I made a lot of fast friends, Ron.
And never flew a drone the day of the event because I was too busy socializing.
Yeah. Good time. And so to Ray Kelly, there's no way I can escape going to South Florida Drone Meetup. I've already got a price put on my head by a multitude of attendees to our event to be there. Okay, so expect me, brother. I'll be there.
I do it. Fly into New Orleans, you can ride with me. There you go.
The problem, I was telling Marcus this. The problem I've been having is lately I've been looking at the flights and everything, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, Southwest flies direct," and I went, "Oh, great!" And I go on Southwest, and I see it's $580, and I go ahead, I do my 2 flight, I do my return flight, and then I hit the how much, and it came up to $1,160, and I'm going, wow. You meant $580 one way? So I have a ton of miles, and I'm a medallion member with Delta, and I was going to fly into Fort Lauderdale. I thought would probably be the best. The problem is everything's a connecting flight, and I'm 111. Thank you, Ray. Everything's a connecting flight out of Atlanta, which is no problem, but the stop layover is only 35, 40 mints, and that's a disaster in Atlanta. Right?
Yeah, I can tell you stories about Atlanta.
Ken Dono is telling me, "Hey Tom, fly into Tampa. You can get a direct into Tampa." Okay. I'm gonna rent a car anyway, so what difference does a drive make? But how far is it from Tampa to Jensen Beach is my question. I didn't look
3 hours. Right?
Probably about 4
about 3.
I would say.
4. You think so? Okay.
I would say.
Yeah, I flew into Orlando last year, and it was an easy drive. It was maybe 2 hours, or maybe I drove into Jupiter, met up with my pal Ron in Jupiter there, and it was about a 2-hour drive. They have the turnpike there that's really fast. You get there pretty quick.
Right. Yeah, what surprises me is we're an international airport here. Another reason why I moved here, but no real direct flights, to the major airports there. So, I've already been told to fly into Dallas. I think, Marcus, you told me to fly up to Boise. Everybody's telling me to fly to their hometown, and I'll get a direct flight. So I'm going to get it worked out. I'm going to get it worked out for 3 hours.
It's about a 3-hour trip time from.
Again, that's not a heavy haul for me. Not a heavy haul at all. Yeah.
And Bill's actually driven it before, since he's come to the meetup. So, Marcus, you any thoughts you want to share on the meetup?
Yeah, no, I mean, Tom hit the high spots there. I think one of the most important things to know is, I'll give you an example. You had Greg Rivardu from the Pilot Institute there. And you know what? I was messing around with the AeroWare app, which is his app, right? And there were some things I couldn't figure out on it. I walked up to Greg and said, "Greg," and he showed me what needed to be done there. So you have this brain trust of individuals there that can help you with a lot of things that you were always curious about. It was a lot of fun. The meetup at the Parkway Tavern. We had the meet and greet there in the evening, which turned out wonderful. And seriously, I got some quality time shooting the breeze with Gray and with Lon Denard and with Ken Dono and Billy Kyle. Got to catch up on a lot of things with a lot of our old friends, and so it was a lot of fun in that regard. And the fact that everybody was there. The other thing that I want to emphasize is this was a DJI sponsored event. So DJI put not just some giveaways, they put money into this event. So
they sure did.
Yeah, I think they're invested in making it successful. And I think that
Yeah.
also kind of helps get some of those movers and shakers in there, so you can expect that. And then the day of the Saturday out at Cornerstone Park, it's a really cool place to fly. It is controlled airspace, but easy enough to get your LANS approval. You can fly up to 300 feet. So, no worries there. And yeah, there was just a lot going on. And of course, thank you to our good friend Tom for putting together this adventure book.
Oh, wow.
Ron, in Florida, I counted on you to show me a lot of the cool flying spots. And of course, I know in turn, you counted on Ray to show you a lot of spots and so forth. Tom put it all together in a kind of a neat little pamphlet here.
Nice.
So, yeah, so that was a pretty good deal. So I talked to Tom about this. And it's not even a criticism; it's just an observation. Having the Green Valley Ranch here as the hotel, it's so big. You don't see anybody else.
Huge. Yeah, it's huge.
We're used to meeting down in the lobby, and you see all your friends, and that allows you to network and do some things impossible to do here. But that's all right. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I got to say, Marcus, the one thing that I did get away that I did benefit from, man, I got my 10,000 steps just walking down the corridor on my own floor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Jesus. Mary and Joseph. Oh my
it's
goodness.
miles to each corner every time. Yeah. But they had a movie theater here. They got
The
about
food court.
10 restaurants here. It's
Hey, Tom,
of
not to
course,
interrupt you, but a lot of people in the chat are telling you to fly into West Palm Beach, which is the best place. But let me just say, for the people flying from the West Coast, there are almost no direct flights to the West Palm from the West Coast down to the East Coast. I can fly into West Palm.
Yeah, you can fly into any of those.
West of Mississippi.
I know. I'm going to have to fly to JFK to hit some of these airports. Okay, so but I appreciate you all. Yeah, I'm doing that search and I'm trying to find. I just don't want to get stuck. Trying to fly into some place like Atlanta. My other choice was they were going to route me to Minnesota, and that's another disaster of an airport to try to do a connection. I don't mind a layover of 2 hours. I'm fine with that. But a breeze the wrong way, okay, when you're flying with a 30-minute layover just creates a disaster. So I'm working it out. I will get there. And I don't mind taking red eyes either, which the wife will not take a red eye, but I don't mind doing that. Hey, I did want to mention, I don't want to overlook one of our big sponsors, and it's really important. The city of Henderson, Nevada, Park and Recreation was one of our sponsors, and it was, I mean, they really greased the rails for us and made it so much easier to use that beautiful venue, Cornerstone Park. And just a funny story, Bob and I met with them, and they laid out all the paperwork and over $1,000 in permit fees, and we were filling out a book. I mean, even Vic Moss's SOP book isn't as big as this thing, okay? And the ton of paperwork, and we were like, okay, we'll get through this. And then they called us back 2 weeks later, sat us down, and they said, hey, you told us a lot about the event and we're excited about it. Would you consider us to be sponsors? So Bob and I looked at each other and said, well, yeah, we would love you to be sponsors. So they picked up all of that. They liaised with their police and fire and special events group and just made it all work for us. And then we got a letter about 2 weeks later. Hey, thank you so much for agreeing to help us with our after school programs and our summer camp programs with your drone experience. So I guess retirement is still not in the books for me. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Hey, I got one more comment about Saturday. One of the coolest things was was it the Henderson Police or the Las Vegas Police?
That's Las Vegas Metro Police, and they actually have jurisdiction over the entire valley, even though we have Henderson Police and we have state police, but they're all over. Yeah.
So Metro put on a unbelievable demonstration of their of their. What drone was that? An M30? No, M30?
No. They unfortunately have to use Skydios. Okay.
Oh, was that a Skydio drone they had?
That was a Skydio. They have to
Okay.
fly Skydios because unfortunately in this state, another one that says,
Wow.
hey, you can't use that for now. For now, we'll say.
It was a great demonstration. They had one officer that was he had the mic and he was explaining what was going on. They had a VO and they had a pilot, and that was really cool.
Yeah. They're such nice people too, and they want to promote this community. Unlike some other law enforcement entities who only want to control the sky entirely, they've been along with us on certain other things also, and they're really great people, and they're very outgoing and want to engage with the community. So we've been very fortunate in that regard with them.
Yeah, it was something.
You got it, Ray. I'm definitely going to book that. I think I'm going to get that super suite, Ray. I'm going to try to be the big man on campus and get the super suite.
Yeah, it's $10 more.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that a couple of years ago. It's worth the money.
You know what? And the funny thing was, I lost track of the wife when we went back to the hotel and we stopped down to have drinks and all, because Jay Santiago lost track of his wife. I lost track of my wife, and yeah, we knew where they were. They were at the slot machines.
Marcus, did we win? Did we win, Marcus?
I never put a nickel in any.
Well,
I didn't do any.
What'd you do with $100 I sent you?
I bought my wife dinner.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Did we win or did he lose?
I think he lost.
I broke even. But that never. When I say I broke even, that's just the money I gambled, not the money I gave my wife to gamble. Okay.
Yeah, no, seriously, I wouldn't mind playing a little blackjack, but we had other stuff going on. It was not the focus.
It was so big. We were so busy this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Just not the we had another drone meetup this weekend also. Vegas Wildwood drone meetup in the South Florida Drone Flyers. And Al Cicerone is the best I can say his last name. They hosted the Fort Pierce drone meetup. And it looks like they had good weather and nice turnout. I think that was sponsored by Start RC. I saw a whole table full of Start RC products there, Johnny.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they had about, I think, 20 people, Al said. It was a nice little meetup.
Yeah. So it was a big weekend for meetups here, even all over the country, from Florida to Las Vegas. So we'll try to get Al on a future show, and maybe some guys that attend out in the future show and find out, how things went down there. So we got some other stories here, a couple of quickies here. It's about 10 o'clock on the East Coast. The leaks are coming fast and furious, for the DJI Mic Mini, and the pictures are getting better. I think I have a little thing I can show you here someplace or another here. And here we go. Let me work the producer seat here, share this screen here. I think it's this one that I want. Now here it is. Here is a little, can you guys see this? Yeah. Here's a little post by Igor. He of course has a little, the kit, for the Mic Mini. And he's even talking about, he says, weighing 10 grams, this microphone will be your faithful companion, but he also has some pricing for it now. He said the Mic Mini with a 2 TX, one transmitter, one receiver, and a CC, €169. A Mic Mini with one transmitter and one RX, €89, and just the Mic Mini all by itself, €59. So I don't know, my conversion is that good, but it sounds like just as we expected, the Mic Mini will be less than buying just a single DJI Mic 2.
Question, Ron. Do we know if, like the regular DJI Mic 2, can you record to the Mic Mini itself, or do you need a receiver?
We not. Do we? I haven't seen that one way or the other.
Yeah, that might be how they keep the price down, Marcus. Okay. But, you know, for $62 for an entry level, that's really not that bad. And you know, come on, guys, understand the strategy here. We are accessorizing that DJI Neo.
They
Okay?
leave no stone unturned, do they?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That.
Go ahead,
Well,
Mark.
I just want to make a comment about how we use these mics. I mean, I've used the DJI mic since the original DJI mic. Well, I used another brand before that, and then when DJI came out, just phenomenal piece of technology. But the big key to me was being able to record to that mic.
Yeah,
it is well. And Tom, you saw the way I use it today. I do the clap so that I can. It makes it super easy to sync it up.
Yep.
And then you're not even messing around putting any kind of receiver on anything. It just works, and it revolutionized my workflow. So
yeah, and
I'm wearing Mark.
I'm wearing one right now.
Revolutionized the way I film videos.
Yeah.
I'm streaming using my Pocket 3.
Hey, Tom.
My mic too.
I got to tell you though, Tom, when we were driving, I can't remember from which location to the next. When I got to the next location, I noticed I still had the mic on, so I recorded our whole conversation. I hope we didn't say anything. I mean, I don't know.
Oh man, you know, hey, you got to delete that right away. I'm not sure who we disparaged on that drive. Okay.
Yeah.
Marcus, I'll find the same thing. I'll have that mic on long after everything else is packed up and put away. That mic will still be in my lapel.
Yeah, it's happened to me too. Yeah.
So I mean, this isn't dramatically cheaper than the Mic 2. Well, I'm just going to single unit here, but I mean, you know, if you value a little bit of savings, you value the size reduction, even though the Mic 2 is so small. I don't know. For me, the smaller size isn't much of a difference to make. And we point out last week's show, if that bothers you, just clip it around your belt and get the lavalier mic coming out of your shirt collar. If the size of mic hanging on your collar bothers you.
I like the fact that on these mics you have the magnet also.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it makes it so simple. I had it hanging from my credentials this weekend. You know, I had it attached to the lanyard, and I didn't even clip it to the lanyard. I just threw the magnet on the other side so it would stay upright. I mean, I did the same thing. I forgot it was even there.
Yeah.
I was wearing my Drones and Coffee t-shirt today, and I put it right in the center of the target of the Drones and Coffee.
There you go. So yeah,
love you, Johnny.
Yeah, basically, these rumors of once you see the prices and looks like the publicity photos, this thing's probably coming soon. It's
going to hit the market soon.
Approval. Yeah. So I was whether we can get in the U.S. anytime soon is another question, but it'll be coming out for the rest of the world soon. I guess we can go on forward. I guess we can expect everything to arrive late to the U.S. from DJI. If at all.
Well, you know, I want to say, Ron, one good thing that's happened recently is the lawsuit by DJI against the Department of Defense. I think that's a good thing.
Yes.
Because, you know, with all this hearsay and veiled comments about data leakage and all this, and they're a military company. Well, you're going into a courtroom now. And it's facts, and only the facts. So, you know, I'm hoping, you know, some of that really loosens up some of this nonsense that's currently going on. Because I'm going to say, hey, we still walk around with these damn phones. I mean, you know, come on.
They're probably the biggest spy machine we have, right?
Yeah. And you know, look at what happened recently, you know, with Skydio. You know, no batteries available, right? And then, of course, people start to realize that's not a made in the USA drone. That's an assembled in the USA drone. Yeah. So let's not kid ourselves. We got to start, hopefully, we can get rid of some of the xenophobia and, the xenophobic approach that we're having to deal with. And, from a public safety standpoint, don't take a life-saving tool away from public safety. And there probably is no better life-saving tool than what this company puts out. And by the way, DJI, make sure you make the check out to me personally this time. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Ron, I want to make sure to point out that comment from Tech Sarge Drone Guy, our friend Michael.
I'll get it
Wright.
up here.
Yeah, he is at the Golden Knights game with
Bob.
Yeah, so
He bought airline tickets already for the South Florida meetup.
Yeah.
Not
He's
driving,
he's commenting from the game, so that's something.
Oh, he's on location. Okay.
Game's about to start in about 15 minutes out here. So, yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the T-Mobile arena right now.
T-Mobile. Okay, so let's see. We have another story here. Both Jasper and Igor had leaked images of what looks like a new DJI Enterprise drone. I'm going to try to get that up on the screen. Let's remove this one and get that little shot up here. Let's see here. There we go. So it's this one here. Keep talking, guys. It always takes me a couple minutes to click.
Yeah, if you see what Phil Koshat just said, he had a friend call him the other day about a washer issue, and his wife's phone was sitting by, and she started to receive ads about washers and dryers. Goddamn Siri, she's the biggest spy we got right now.
Absolutely.
They're listening.
There it is, guys. These popped up. I think Igor and Jasper had these over the weekend.
Wow, that looks like it already hit the wall.
Wow.
Every leaked one always is crashed, right, Tom? Every single one is crashed. But let me go back here. Get rid of this. And here's another photo with there's like there you go. There's a little video. You see that little Enterprise cone on the back of it.
Yeah, I don't see the light.
Yeah, the RTK.
RTK.
The RTK module. Yeah.
So this is just the camera that they're probably testing, right?
No, it looks like an enterprise level. Normally you'll see that that little top hat would be closer to the front of the drone.
This could be a Mavic 4 Enterprise, could it?
It could very possibly be.
We don't see that LiDAR window on there.
No, then that's surprising because I figured that technology is going to move forward with whatever comes out next, right?
Or maybe this is kind of prototype and it hasn't got the final LiDAR added to it. I mean, just think if DJI held the LiDAR back just for the Air 3S, that would be get a lot of people mad.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time DJI got people mad, right? What was that called? The Mavic 3 Classic. Okay. And so
it's a lot of people get easily upset, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we don't know too much about that. Just those pictures popped up over the weekend. People have been speculating like crazy over it. Lauren's calling it it's the Mavic 4 ENE.
Enterprise, I think is what he means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, when you start to see, so the question is when is the Mavic 4 coming out? Well, when you start to see them slash the prices on the Mavic 3, okay, then right, Ron, we should be pretty sure that the Mavic 4 will get released shortly after that.
Yeah, when the Mavic 3 Pro starts going down.
Yeah.
Like Philip Koshat, right there. Maybe with LiDAR wouldn't have hit the wall.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't have to be all that dirty, whatever. So, and here one last story here. We heard about a DJI RC track about the time the Air 3S was supposed to come out. Most of it is kind of expected to come out alongside the Air 3S, but it did not show. But now rumors are heating up again about that little tracking beacon.
A beacon,
beacon,
that'll allow you to do the kind of tracking most people want to, like high-speed tracking. If you had that beacon, you could be in a moving vehicle going more than 15 miles per hour and still have that thing track you.
I'm surprised. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been a beacon released by DJI, especially since a competing company released one how many years ago?
5
Right.
years
They had the
ago.
roadmap in 2020 when, or 2000 end of 2019 when the
Yeah, that's
nice.
Video 2 was released. Yeah. So I
I
guess
would love
maybe design a working beacon's not as easy as we thought it was.
Well,
No,
I would love a
what probably
beacon
happens, like,
if it has some telemetry. Sorry, DeMarco.
No, go ahead. That's right.
I said I would really hope that the beacon at least had some telemetry on it, meaning give me a battery indicator, so if I'm using the beacon, I kind of can see that I have so much battery left on the drone. Okay, so I don't get myself in trouble thinking this thing's following me and it just fell out of the sky somewhere.
Yeah, like that.
Or
So
it's returned to home to you in a fast moving vehicle or something.
it's beacon, right? Instead of the takeoff location. But hey, that brings up a good thing. Marcus, how good is that Air 3S return to home?
Yeah. Did you see my video I posted?
Isn't that cool? I mean,
Yeah.
I got
Amazing.
a very big landing pad I take with me everywhere. Okay, it's my tonneau cover on my pickup truck. Okay, and it precisely lands right. It doesn't smash into my back window or fall off the tailgate. It lands where it took off from, and it's amazing.
So Tom, I got it. This will our friend Johnnie DroneFlyer is going to love this. So Johnny, when we were out at the Red Rocks today, I was taken off the back of that Santa Cruz, right off the little bed cover.
Right. Yeah, the tonneau cover. Yeah.
I put it right in the middle of the thing, and it hit right dead center every time on the way back.
That's what I use. Yeah, that's what I always take off from when I'm flying.
Yeah.
I took off from inside my garage the other day and took off, flew out the garage, flew around, hit the return to home. I mean, I did have my finger on that pause button, okay? But it came down and then came into my garage and landed where I took off from. So pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool stuff.
It's insane.
I'm gonna wrap up here and throw this RC tracking. The droner guy, who's a pretty good leaker too. He says, "Coming soon." Marco, go ahead and finish your point.
No, that beacon. I'm guessing that probably wasn't something that was really important to him. I mean, so they probably worked on it. They probably had a smaller team working on it, and then they finally got it out. Yeah.
It's a good
Hopefully
thought,
it works better.
DeMarco, the thing is that, if you're in a vehicle or you're on a boat, that return to home feature can really hurt you bad, right? Because it winds up wanting to go back to where you were. And to me, that beacon would really be, I found out from Ken Herron that I can fly in some of these national recreation areas like Lake Mead and all, when I'm on the Colorado River, if I'm launching from the river itself. Ryan LaTourette did some research on that and said, the river itself is part of the Department of Interior, not the federal park system. And going out on a pontoon boat or something like that, my reluctance has always been getting into a problem and it landing somewhere I wasn't.
Right.
So if that is something they've mastered with this, that to me, it's an immediate buy for me.
Yeah.
How, Tom? I know we don't know. We're just guessing here, but can you ballpark a price on this?
I would say it's probably going to be $159.95. Okay, how's that one?
I'll buy it. I'll buy it at your price.
I'll start.
Yeah, I won't buy it.
Then we got $199. Marcus, $249 for you. What are we saying? So
I haven't a clue. I will say what you were just describing, Tom, would be a dynamic home point. In other words, it follows the controller and will always come back to the controller even if you move. Now, for instance, I get asked this question all the time. You go into the app and you say you change your home point to the controller. Yep, it's going to mark that spot where you are at that
Yeah.
second with the controller. If you move, it's still going to be where you were with the controller. It is not dynamic return to home.
Correct.
And that is, I don't know of any drone that does that. Do you, Tom? I don't know of any drone that has that.
Not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet, at least.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that would be that would be a great marketing point if they could accomplish that.
Yeah.
And you said that,
Philip is saying that they
marking
do
it.
that. Philip's
Yeah,
saying
marking
that
it in the
has-
controller. We got too much to worry about when we're dealing with stuff that we forget. Oh, let me update my home point, And it's not until you get that oh shit moment that you realize you didn't update your home point, and where
So-
was I last?
As
So
it's landing
Philip,
in the water, yeah.
Philip, you gave me a good idea
Yeah.
for a video now, because as soon as I get home, I'm going to get out my Autel Evo Lite Plus, and I'm going to try that. Look for that setting to see if it will do a dynamic return to home.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. But
It'd be easy to test, so it'd be fun.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never tested
So-
Johnny, but I did know that the Altels had the boat feature. I read that. I've never tested myself.
Yeah, I'll have to
But
look
yeah,
for
So,
that.
Marcus, do you blame Phil if it doesn't work?
Well, what I would blame myself is what I would, but I will be very cognizant of what's going on and where that drone is going.
yeah, no lie.
Absolutely.
Hey, try it on a golf cart or something first, Marcus. To go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea, Johnny.
yeah, something a little bit safer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You try it out in the open, you'd be someplace.
Yeah,
where
you'd be right. Yeah, you'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh, a boat on a trailer behind a car.
Yeah, there you go.
Trying
There you
to
go.
boat it's on a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Running around the golf course. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Bill says he's going to bring the boat. So
Yeah, on a trailer. There you
Okay. One more story on the agenda here. If you want to win more prizes than you did at the Vegas Meetup, 2024 Sky Pixel 10th annual photo and video contest announcement from DJI. The total prize pool is $170,000 plus. I put the link in the DroneNation Facebook group for you to go in and find all the details, how you can enter your best shots and videos in the contest and try to win some of that big pie of money there.
Marcus, we should be able to win with some of those shots we got at Red Rock
There
today.
you go.
I'll tell you, Tom, I have been out to the Red Rocks a bunch of times, but I never, till I got the drone in the air, I never fully appreciated it. It is a great place. Well, our friend Rick Williamson, what's the name of his channel, Johnny?
Buckeye Drone.
Buckeye
Buckeye,
Drones.
Okay.
He just posted a video today, and he got some amazing shots. He was out there at sunrise. And boy, oh boy, he got some really cool.
Wait until I post
best
my
time.
my sunset power loop I did just today. Yeah, seriously, DeMarco. I mean, I know you don't have the Avata 2. You had the first DJI drone and potato, but this Avata 2, even since it's come out with all the updates they've done, I mean, that Avata 2. Everybody talks about the Neo being fun. If the Neo is fun, the Avata is like twice as fun or whatever. Johnny, what do you agree that I know you fly real FPV now, but you still enjoy getting the Avata out there with don't you?
Doing that easy Acro was fun. I mean, yeah, it's I'd rather do it with that than my real FPV. To be honest with you, the way I fly, but it's an interesting feature. I mean, like I say, just get your little altitude before you do it, and don't try to do it too close to the ground. That's for sure. Because you do have to remember, when you have it in easy Acro, every time you push the button, it's gonna flip. You got to land with the button that you take off with.
Yeah.
So it's because I called Captain Joe. I said I was still flying, and every time I push it to land, so I called Joe. I said, Joe, how the hell you land a drone? I actually snagged it out the air and turned it over because. So, but it is a fun.
Yeah, I just moved it to a different easy Acro mode.
Oh, you changed it before you landed.
I used that thing on the side, changed to different easy Acro mode that wasn't the downward.
I guess you could throw it in sport mode real quick, and then you can land it. So
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
true. But I mean, just the way that, I mean, that thing's, you like today, I mean, I don't fly it all that time, but I threw it up. Like, I mean, I'm getting muscle memory now. You remember all the settings and whatever. And like, it was just, for it used to be when I got the Avata one, every time out was like, like I couldn't remember how to do this or that. And, like I only flew one battery because it was too much. But it's so easy at this point. It's almost as easy as flying my camera drones at this point. And I'm flying not Acro, whatever. But again, it's almost as easy to take out the camera drones now.
Yeah, no, it's a great feature. I mean, I would just say be careful. That's all. I mean, you got carry refresh, do all the power loops you want.
Yeah, practice with a couple flips first, right? 180 drifts and whatever.
Like Joe said, Captain Joe said, who needs manual with easy Acro? There you go.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Where? Oh yeah. And Captain Joe, it's your video that was my tutorial to do power loops or whatever. Joe did it right at his apartment complex.
Yeah, watch his latest video though. We'll go right into.
Well, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's called the pile driver.
So
hey, when you check out Rick's video from Buckeye, he was out with us at Lake Dolores yesterday, so he's got another video up there from Lake Dolores as well.
He's a heck of a pilot, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
you get some nice shots.
Such a nice guy.
Hey,
I mean, so many good people.
But Tom, did you check your truck? I mean, did you look around your truck and all after Rick was hanging around your truck and stuff? I mean,
yeah, there was no visible damage yet that I've identified. Okay.
I mean, did you win any awards? Anything? No awards that. I mean, he was giving out awards at the South Florida drone meetup. So
yeah. Well, you know what? We got an award from Ken Herron when we went to the Eddie's World to grab a bite to eat. Ken put a sticker on all of us, and then when we finally looked at the sticker, it said "for rectal use only." Okay, so yeah, I got my award.
What was some of the most popular drones that you saw people flying at the event or whatever? It was probably the Avata, right, Marcus? I'd say
that was the number one. The Avata.
Avata 2.
The Avata 2. Okay. Yeah, the Avata 2. I would say, and there were Neos just following people around. I mean,
I was surprised at the number of the Air 3S. There were a lot of people out there with their Air 3S as well.
That already had their Air 3S. Yes.
Camera drones.
Camera drone. I think that was a pretty popular one, and of course the influencers that were here, they were flying their Air 3Ss. I got this nice little rig. Hey, Marcus, that I set up to fly my Air 3S. I have. I've gotten lazy in my old age, and so what I do, and plus these eyes aren't getting any younger, Ron. So I add onto my RC2, which is only 700 nits, I add a 2200 nit field monitor to that. Okay, wow. A little Free World. I think it's FW279. I think it cost me about $250, and then I have a Liftor mount that goes on that. And the nice thing about the RC2 is you can come right out of USB-C and go right to HDMI with that. And I have that all on a nice lightweight tripod, and I just set that up. And I can see that in the blazing sun out here with little to no, with sunglasses on. Okay. And the nice thing about that is I like to pinch, okay, more than I like to thumb it. And unfortunately, the weight of this thing sitting on you, it's really hard to pinch it. But now when I have it up on the tripod, I can really use a lot of finesse on the sticks, and it's sitting right there. And, if somebody asks me a question and I want to let them step in and take a look, it's so easy for them to just poke their head in and take a look. It's a really nice setup. And I'll tell you, the Air 3S, I don't know, it feels buttery. That's the best way I can put it. It flies so well. I got it up the other day, and I know, Marcus, you probably beat me. I got it up to 57.2 miles an hour the other day. Okay,
So
and it was amazing.
yeah, Tom. When our last place that we stopped, there was part of it that was just a big open area. So I thought, hey, this is my opportunity to try that out. So Ron, you'll be proud of me. I remembered. So I went into settings and I cranked it all the way up to, I think it says 60.2 or something like that.
60.2.
Yeah. And so I hit full throttle both directions. Hey, there they are.
There they are.
Mike.
Yep,
Yeah.
there they are.
Yeah. And I think I got it up to like 53 going one direction, but then coming back, the best I could do, Tom, was 55 miles an hour. But let me tell you what, that's moving. And that was about right when it was where we were out there, Tom. And I looked at that drone and it was pitched forward like,
Marcus, is that what the only drone you brought was the A3S?
That's the only thing I brought with me. Yeah,
it's the only drone you need, right, Marcus?
Well, yeah, truthfully, if I had to just pick one drone, I think it would be the R3S.
We talked about it a little bit before, but I know a lot of people, they don't think that the R3S, is much of an upgrade over the R3. Some people don't even think it's an upgrade over the R2S.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, if you actually flown 400 pound flown it, that return to home, just the little things. It's discounting the camera. In every other way, it's the most refined, consumer camera drone I've ever handled.
LiDAR, speed, both horizontal and vertical speed.
Internal memory.
Okay.
Internal
memory. And I'm sorry, adjust your camera settings. That's all you got to do. I'm not finding a problem with the quality of the camera. I'm a photographer for 40 plus years. Okay. Adjust your settings. It looks great. And, for those of you that want to shoot panos, I tried the free pano the other day out at Lone Mountain and, pick the left-hand corner, pick the right-hand corner and just have at it. Marcus, you saw me today. I like to shoot my panos as 7-shot AEBs. And then I'll bring them in.
You should have heard that controller.
I was machine gunning it. And what I do is, so I'll shoot the 7-shot AEB and I'll move the screen a third and I'll shoot and I'll do it and over. And then I bring those into Lightroom because I like working with raw images. I bring those into Lightroom. I merge the AEBs. I put them in a collection and then I take those and I merge them as a pano. And I'm doing some big wall, I got wall hangings here that are, 60 inches wide and all. And I got to tell you, man, it's a solid performer. Really is.
You do panos like Billy Kyle does hyperlapses.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's the bet,
And the battery life.
If you're going to print.
And I'll tell you what, the number one feature for me is since I lost my Air 3S on a sheer rock cliff in Kanab, about 1,000 feet up, and the last image I got on my monitor was a couple of talons reaching over my camera. Okay, but my batteries from my Air 3 and my RC2 controller completely compatible, and my charging hub completely compatible with the Air 3S.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. So you lost your Air 3 to a bird strike, huh?
I sure did. Yep. And DJI made me brick it. Okay. And then they offered me a flyaway course, but unfortunately, that was my first and only drone I bought from Best Buy. Thank you, Eddie Nunez. So I didn't have I had the total tech membership, right? But with the total tech membership, you got to bring them something back. Okay. And I had nothing to bring him back. So DJI offered me a replacement price of $975. So I was tempted to do it, but I called one of my connections in DJI and they said, why don't you hold off for about 3 months? And I'm pretty sure you're going to want to invest your money elsewhere. So thank you to that unnamed good guy at DJI. And I love my Air 3S.
So Ken Dono had a similar story. He was flying his Air 3S the day before the meetup, and he was with Lon, and all of a sudden his drone flipped over, and he's going, "What the heck's going on?" And then it leveled itself again, but he flew it back, and it was making a horrible noise. He landed it, and the props were just shredded.
Oh.
So the only thing that could have been was a bird strike. You know, he was not close to anything. He wasn't like he was way up in the air. It wasn't like he hit anything. It had to be a bird strike.
Marcus, he called me and he goes, "Hey, Tom, you know the wildlife out here." And I'm not expecting, I don't know what he's coming up with next, right? And he says, my Air 3S just did flips in the sky. And I'm thinking, oh man, you know, it's going to be in pieces. He goes, and it righted itself and it came down. And he said, I had some shredded propellers and some blood streaks across the top. I said, well, I'm going to have to notify the Nevada Fish and Game warden on you. And I surmised it was probably a starling, because I think if it was anything bigger, it probably would have taken him out. Okay. But I think, Bird was on the wrong path when he was coming up, and,
that's possible. Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
What I found, talk about smaller birds, the only birds that I've ever had any issues with dive bombing my drone are swallows. And I don't know if you got a lot of swallows here or not, Tom, but
no, not really. I mean, look, my situation was clearly I was near a predatory bird nest, apparently. Okay. And that's why what happened to me happened to me. I was looking at hot air balloons off in the distance, and I was too close to that cliff area where there was probably a nest.
Tom, I fly in the Morley Nelson Birds of Prey area. That's where I'm at Dedication Point in the Snake River Canyon. A lot of other places out there. I have never ever had one of those big raptors even give that drone a second look.
Yeah, I only had it happen to me once before, and that was off the overlook by Bear Mountain, and the problem was exactly what I just encountered up in Kanab. I came coming up the cliff face. I came near a predatory bird nest, and rightly so. Mom and Dad are protecting the nest, and I had to. Luckily, I saw it happening, and I was able to ascend quickly. Okay, because that's your best defense, is to ascend.
Yeah, they can't. Okay? They can't fly straight up.
They can't ascend like we can. So. But this, I had no idea, because he caught me from behind. He or she caught me from behind, because all I had was two talons over the screen when I looked back at it, and it was what it was. I mean, we lose drones, and you learn your lesson. I now only make sure I purchase DJI Care Refresh,
and not Best Buy. Plan.
Well, the thing about Best Buy was, if you have the Total Tech membership, when the new drone comes out, you bring in the old drone with a broken propeller and you tell them this doesn't work right. After you bought originally the Fly More combo, and then they give you a gift card for the entire value of the Fly More combo, while you still have the batteries and everything else for the previous drone. Mm-hmm. So, but in this case, it didn't work out for me.
Been a while since I bought from Best Buy, because usually, like, the Best Buys around here, like, they don't get the drones that fast enough. You can get them fastest by ordering them on Amazon or whatever.
Yeah, not lately. No,
yeah,
for sure.
Not lately. Yeah, not lately.
Well, yeah, not well. They don't.
Especially with this situation. Yeah. Yeah.
So. Well, folks.
Yeah,
we covered everything.
I would say, buying the Neo at Best Buy might not be a bad idea, but I think any other larger drone, I would recommend buying it directly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I even buy from Amazon, I just immediately get the Care Refresh as soon as I, what do you call when you sync when you start the drone up and you have
Activate it.
to
Yeah, when you activate it.
Yeah,
when you activate
the
it.
kind of refresh right there.
Yeah,
So,
the activate.
and the thing about
Get the-
Amazon, they have a 30-day return policy if you don't like the drone, as opposed to DJI's 15. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
but of course you can't get anything from Amazon now either. So I'm talking, I'm going way back to I guess the Avata 2 was the last time that you know these are real available. But Jay Bird, I was trying to say activate. Thank you, Jay Bird.
Yeah.
Because remember, anybody's getting a Neo for kids and stuff. That remember that you have to has to be activated for phones. If you give it to a kid on Christmas, you better be there with a kid to activate it for him.
Yeah.
Because even if he has
absolutely.
a phone, he still has to have
An account.
Account and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not like a toy; it has to be activated. Jay Bird saying Target has a Neo.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say, DeMarco,
which
this is a
Target?
good idea for you because you get to play with it before Christmas to make sure it's activated and everything.
Yeah.
Before you wrap
yeah,
it back
yeah,
up and
yeah.
give it to the kids.
I like
You
You
know?
got him thinking. You got him
Yeah,
thinking,
we're
Tom.
going to see the DeMarco selfie. Yeah, we're going to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already some footage on the drone. You
Yeah, the first file is DeMarco with a Santa Claus hat on. Yep.
DeMarco, I got good information that Santa Claus is going to watch this show tomorrow, so he'll know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pretty close, Chris Hope. It's the Green Valley Ranch in Las Vegas, Nevada.
It does look like a nursing home. Yeah.
Attending the Las Vegas drone meetup.
That's the big chair that's in every room. Okay.
It's
And
it's
if
a
you're not
crappy
careful,
chair.
if you're not careful, you'll get a hernia trying to move the damn thing.
It's
Okay.
a piece of junk chair. Yeah. I
Almost,
don't
you could have did it from the throne. You could have did the show from the throne.
Well, he looks like he's on a real throne there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, I think we covered all the stories thing. I want to thank Tom so much for coming on and giving a recap of the weekend's event. It sounds like it was a great event. I'm looking forward to attending next year. DeMarco, you going to try to make it next year too?
Yes. Hopefully the kids' sports will be all died down, but I'm sort of hamstrung until they're 17 or 18. So. Yeah.
And $100 on red, DeMarco. $100 on red.
Take that.
There you go.
You hear that, Johnny?
And
DeMarco?
Johnny, yeah, I know Johnny doesn't like to fly that much, but you think you could drive up there? Or?
I'm going to drive over to Vegas next year. Yep.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Rick did from what, North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Yeah, we had somebody from Wyoming. Yeah, we had them come from all over the country, which was really nice.
Marco, all you got to do is drive over to Shreveport, and I'll come up and we'll just shoot across.
There you
That's
go.
a long drive, Johnny. Man.
All right. 3 days. 3 days will be there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Marco.
3 days. You can cuddle in the back seat. See that?
Nah.
Keep each other warm.
I'm telling you, Marco, I'd love to see you here. It'd be a riot. We'd have great fun, buddy. And I would stand behind you when you're putting that $100 chip on red. I would be standing behind you cheering.
I'll bring my lucky rabbit's
That
foot.
too.
I'll bring my
That
lucky
too, but I
rabbit's
want to
foot.
find a cheap buffet, right?
There's no such thing anymore. Ask Tom. They just don't exist.
Yeah.
anymore.
You know,
$98 or so, you know.
There's only a few left in town. We'll take you. You know what, DeMarco? We'll take you to Golden Corral.
I got that here.
But that's the best you're going to do. Seriously. So the days, remember, it was a big deal in both Reno and Vegas. The 99-cent shrimp cocktail and all that.
I know.
That is all gone.
So at South Point, the buffet is $34. It's okay, nothing special. You go up to the Wynn, and the buffet is $99. Okay, and you go to the Palms, and the Palm has seafood night, and that's when the idiots come out and try to balance 3 plates of crab legs stacked 2 stories tall, like they'll never be able to go back again. And that's probably $79. Okay. So yeah, the days of the loss leader, cheap, go play $10 on the slot and get a half price buffet. You know, after COVID, they repurposed those spaces.
Even before that, Tom, it disappeared.
Yeah, it started to dwindle. We used to go to the Fiesta, and it was $7.95 each, and it was more fun people watching there. Okay, like people were dying of malnutrition; they couldn't get enough food on their plates. You know, for $7.95.
It's gone now, right? Is the Fiesta still there?
Fiesta's closed and knocked down. And
Texas.
And DeMarco, you know, you got to get out here, you know, because they're going to build the Sydney Opera House to house the old Oakland A's. I mean, that's what the design looks like. It looks like the Sydney Opera House. But
like the last
that's going to be
Vegas was probably 2005, maybe 2006.
Oh, dude, we got the T-Mobile Arena. We got the Allegiant. The Allegiant, get this, UNLV plays at the Allegiant and the Raiders play at the Allegiant. But when the Raiders are done playing at the Allegiant, the entire natural grass field rolls out on a tub to the outside, and UNLV plays on turf. So, yeah, and they give tours. You know, it's a great place to go take a tour, and it's an amazing arena.
Plus, there's the Sphere. Don't forget the Sphere.
Yeah.
The Sphere would be cool. I'll bring the kids for that. That's it.
We went. So DeMarco, just real quickly, I don't want, but we went to the Sphere. Honestly, the outside, I think, is the big deal. The inside, it's like a giant IMAX. I mean, it was okay, but
it's the biggest IMAX in the world. Yeah.
You get a better. I think you get just as good of an experience as an IMAX. So I was a little bit disappointed.
Well, that's because you haven't heard a concert from there. But the other thing people don't realize is you could be sitting where you are, and where you were sitting, you were getting that whole show in English. But people sitting in the next section, were hearing it in Spanish.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Really?
Because they have these speakers tuned. They're beamed speakers, and plus your seats move slightly, and they can introduce fog and everything. So it's more of a 4D experience, and there'll be more and more that they actually had to build a lens to shoot the content for this place. But the outdoors is hilarious. There are these hockey pucks, hundreds of thousands of them that make up the image. And the funny stuff they put on, usually in the morning news out here, you'll see a couple of golfers on the Wynn golf course, and one will flub a shot, and then you see the big emoji make a face on the Sphere. Okay. But the stuff they put up there, and what they do, I mean, you know, during basketball draft, they had the basketball up there, and it looked 3-dimensional. Yeah, you could see the dimples and the ridges, and I can almost see it. You know, if I go down right across the street, I can see it from my house because
Tom will still be open. They're losing so much money every quarter. I mean.
You know what? They're building another one in Dubai, and there's supposed to be another 5 slated to be built. So, and, you know, hearing you two play there was amazing. You know, so we're getting a lot of residencies there now. The Eagles are playing there. And when you're there, there is no bad seat in the place for a concert. Is no bad seat.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to end the show here. We're going a little bit over, but I said thanks, Tom. Thanks, Marcus, for coming in while you're still traveling home from Vegas here. And, of course, Johnny for sitting in with us tonight, you know, the guest host. And, of course, always our MVP there at DeMarco down there at the bottom corner. I want to thank everybody who watched the show tonight and left, you know, comment in the chats tonight and support the show on a weekly basis. And don't forget, is there a Fly for Fun show this Wednesday, Johnny?
This Wednesday, next Wednesday it'll be Chris Hope and Michael Wright. We got the Texas.
Wow, what a crew! And tomorrow night, of course, don't forget Bill the drone reviewer. He got another Air 3S in, but he may have another tale of woe on his new Air 3S. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget Bill the drone. Bill over help me out here. Coast Drones on Wednesday night. A lot of great shows on Wednesday. Lawrence and Herman, Johnny Ray are on this weekend, but Ray will be on Thursday night probably as he's traveling. So
and old farts with drones. Okay,
Wednesday
if Bob doesn't sleep in, okay, it'll be old farts with drones.
Next Sunday, don't forget Drone Seekers.
Were you on Drone Seekers yesterday from Vegas?
I was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
A full show or a cameo?
Full show. I did the full show.
Full show on the road. Wow. So, good night, folks. Have a good week. Keep your eye out for some of those new DJI products coming out this week. Who knows? We may get some new things. Maybe not. Good night.
Thank you to our veterans.
The Rams are losing.